Hi everybody, this is Tina with Loving Life's Little Blessings, and welcome to my video today. I want to share with you guys a card that I'm going to make, and I'm using these two products. This is a embossing folder, which is a 6x6 embossing folder, which is really beautiful, and then this stamp set. And this is actually going to be a bundle in the upcoming holiday catalog. That catalog goes live on September 1st, I believe. Let me double check. September 1st. So it goes live on September 1st, and when you purchase this bundle together, then you're going to save 15%, and the bundle, I believe, is around $21. So it's a great way to save a little bit of money and get two products, and I love these products together. And you're going to be able to do Halloween, Christmas, and like autumn, Thanksgiving, fall stuff. So that's always nice when you can get a couple different seasons out of one stamp set. So let's jump in. I'm going to create a swap card that I'm doing for a team swap that we're doing. We like to swap cards. I know I've been talking a lot about swap cards lately because I went to the Stampin' Up! Convention and I did a bunch of swap cards. So a swap card is where you just make a bunch of the same card and then you swap, everybody swaps, and then you come home with lots of different cards. Instead of having, 20 of the same card, you come home with 20 different cards. We do a swap for all of the catalog releases. And so we're doing one for the holiday catalog. Now I'm going to go ahead and make a full card. Normally with a swap, you just usually make the card front, and then the person who gets the card, they put it onto a card base. However, because I don't know, for our team, I just wanted to do full cards. I don't mind doing that. So right here I have a early espresso piece of cardstock. This was at 8.5 by 11, and I just cut it at 4 1/4. This is my favorite way to make a card, and so it just folds down, and then that's our card base. And then I've taken a piece of Whisper White, and I've already embossed this. You can see. You guys, I got a new camera, and so I would love your feedback about the quality of it. I'm still getting used to filming on it. It's a little bit different. The settings and stuff are a little bit different, and so I would love your feedback about the camera situation. So I embossed it with this folder, and what I did when I put my Whisper White piece in, I just made sure that it lined up within, the branches. I just kind of made sure I was aware of where I was putting it. This is definitely a folder where you might want to be a little bit more aware of where the paper is instead of just putting in there. If it's tilted at all, it's going to look kind of funny. So be careful when you're using that embossing folder. So now what I'm going to do is I just have a sponge dauber, and I don't want a lot of ink on this. So what I can do is take a just scratch piece of paper and just kind of get some of that off right away. Let me zoom in a little bit more for you guys so you can see that a little bit better. And then I'm just going to lightly run it over the embossed part. So now what I'm doing is I'm just taking the leaves on this set, so you can see that there's the circles. These coordinate with the 2-inch circle punch. And then there's all these little other items. So you can do some Christmas stuff hanging from the trees, or you can do the leaves. We're going to do the leaves, and I'm using crushed curry, pumpkin pie, and then perfect plum. And you're going to need your cleaner because you're going to have to do some cleaning in between some stamping. And then I have all the stamps on these little blocks. I saw this card, a variation of this card at convention, and I could not wait to make it when I got home. So I didn't come up with this idea on my own. It's just something I saw and I wanted to case, and I've been wanting to play with some of this new product, so it was perfect. So now I'm just going to take and stamp. I know the lighting in here is not great. Okay. When I'm editing this, I'll have a little bit better idea of how it looks, and I may need to adjust some of the settings. I wasn't sure exactly how everything would look until I actually filmed. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and clean this one. And then let's add some yellow. I'm going to come back and use some of the same leaves in different colors in a minute. I wanted to upgrade my camera because I would like to start doing live events and classes, live class events. And so I wanted to do that, and it's just taken me a little bit of time to get used to everything. So then I'm going to do Perfect Plum. Whoops, I just dipped that right in the orange. I'm going to have to clean that. See, be careful. I was looking up at the camera and dipping in the ink at the same time. That didn't work well. Okay, so then let's just come back. This leaf is actually my favorite. And let's put that in the orange. And then I'll do a Perfect Plum one over here. So that's probably good. So we're almost done with this card. So now let's close these up so I don't put my finger right in it. The next thing that I did is I took Autumn Wishes right here and I just stamped that in Bermuda Bay and then I punched it out. I have all these already punched out, you can see. So I just punched that out in Autumn Wishes. Now let me show you something that I did. Because this is a large, these are large images. Right away what I did is I took my sanding block. You can do this with a nail file, a sanding block, and I just ran this all over the surface of my stamp. Some people find they don't have to do this. I felt like I did. I felt like it stamped better once I did it. And you can see the surface of the stamp sort of turns white as you're doing that. And I just did that until everywhere was white where I could see. And if you just do it lightly, it doesn't ruin your stamp, okay? I'm going to tell you, do it lightly so that you don't ruin your stamp and then email me angry. If you just do it gently, it'll turn the surface white and then it helps that photopolymer stamp pick up the ink. Some stamps will not, you won't need to do that. My leaf stamps, I didn't need to do that. They were perfectly fine. So I'm just going to take a bunch of this gold thread. It's really, really thin. So it's going to be a little bit hard to see, but that's going to be okay. You're going to take a big piece of it. And then you're going to take your snail. And what I'm going to do is right down here is where I want this Autumn Wishes. So I'm just going to take a bunch of this snail and just in little tiny dots, I'm going to put a bunch down there, and then we're going to start the linen thread. And I'm just wrapping this around and pushing it down and twisting it all over the place. And I want really big loops out here because that's what's going to stick out from the circle. So I'm just kind of letting it twist and turn however it wants. But I really want it on the out from the glue. So I don't want little tiny circles around the glue because that's going to be covered up. So I really want this to twist outward, if that makes sense. And the thread will naturally like twist and turn. It's usually not too hard to get that to twist and turn. So I'm going to cut that again, and you can loop that last piece back down into a glue spot if you want. It actually doesn't look bad sticking up. I'll get up here closer. It doesn't look bad sticking up there, but see how it's just kind of a big mess? I know it's a little bit hard to see. I think I'm going to have to adjust the white balance on this camera. So now what we can do is I'm going to go ahead and use my ATG gun. You guys know I do that when I've embossed anything because this ATG adhesive is really strong. So we can stick this on here. This white piece is cut at 4 by 5 1/4. And that is just a 1/4 inch shorter than the card base. So it has a nice border. We can push this down. Okay, now let's just grab some dimensionals. So this card was super simple, and that I was able to create quite a few of these. I think I made 20 of them right off the bat the first time I sat down. So it was super easy. Okay, so I took the dimensionals off, and now I can stick that right where I put all that glue. All those little glue dots that I did with the snail. And then you can see, let me turn this light off and see if you can see better. A little bit better. Let's get dark. Well, a little bit. You can see a little bit. It'll show up better in my photo. But that is the card for today, you guys. I love the way it turns out with the gold thread. This is the first one I made, and I did it with linen thread. So I just wrapped linen thread around 3 times and basically did the same thing. And then I tried it with the gold thread, and I really liked the way the gold thread came out better. So if you're interested in joining my team, I would love to have you. Of course, we have lots of fun, lots of inspiration, and fun times. You can just head right over to my website by just clicking right up here at the very top of the screen. In the corner, it takes you over to my coordinating blog post. You'll see photos of this. You won't see a supply list quite yet because the catalog is not live, but I will list the product like that I used. You just won't be able to click on it and purchase it quite yet. And then if you're interested in joining, if you join and you spend $99, you'll get to pick out $125 in product, and you can pick out from the holiday catalog. You don't even have to wait till it goes live. And then you can join me on my team, and we can have lots of fun swapping cards together and sharing inspiration and ideas. So I'll be back later this week with more fun stuff for you guys. And of course, I think maybe I'll post this on Thursday, so I'll probably be back on Friday with a Memory Keeping Friday. So thanks guys for coming by and hanging out with me, and I will talk to you guys later.